Memorial Day is coming up, and cemeteries all over the state are starting to place American flags at the site of every soldier who has served.
Joining us this morning on Arc Band is Ethan Hipple. He's the director of the Portland Parks Recreation and Facilities Department, which includes Evergreen Cemetery. Ethan, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
You bet. Nice to be here.
Yeah, first of all, let's talk about all the work that needs to be done gearing up for Memorial Day at not just your cemetery, but cemeteries all across Maine and this country.
Yeah, this time of year, it's like Super Bowl and World Series wrapped into one for people who work on cemeteries. There's a lot of work to do just making the cemeteries look nice for families of veterans who are coming to visit their loved ones at the cemetery. So there's a big emphasis on getting everything mowed, everything trimmed. It's hard to do because there's 17, well, in Portland, there's 17 cemeteries citywide, and getting them all looking good at once is a big challenge. Our crew works really hard to do it. We bring in contract labor to help with that, just so everything looks great on Memorial Day. And then we have an effort to place flags at all of our veterans memorials as well, which is a big endeavor. So
definitely. Let's talk about how many flags are we looking at here, and how does Evergreen compare to the other cemeteries in Portland?
Yeah, there's a lot of veterans buried at Evergreen Cemetery. Overall, in the whole cemetery, there's about 60 to 70,000 burials in Evergreen Cemetery. It's 100 acres of burials. Of those, there's around 2,500 veterans who are buried there, and our aim is to have a flag in each and every one of their grave sites, whether they have family coming to visit them or not. Some of these go back to the probably not Revolutionary War, but Civil War, and basically every war in between now and then. There's soldiers and people who have served in those wars in Evergreen Cemetery. We also have other cemeteries where we place flags. Our next biggest cemetery is Forest City Cemetery, which is actually located in South Portland, but is a City of Portland property, and we place flags on the graves there as well.
Yeah, you couldn't do this without an army. When do volunteers show up to help out, and how many people do you need, or are you still looking for volunteers?
Sure, yeah. So on Thursday, May 22nd, 9 a.m., we're meeting at Evergreen Cemetery. In the past, this has been a city employee volunteer event, and it's grown from that. We had people coming from the Jetport and Police Department and Public Works, my Department of Parks, Rec, and Facilities, and we would gather at the cemetery and place flags. But we're opening that up, and we'd like to invite members of the public who'd like to join us. We've seen you out there in the past in helping us, which is great. So we want to just keep that going. We'll have donuts and coffee at 9, and then basically we're asking volunteers to come in and help us place flags at all those veterans' graves. We have the flags. You have to be prepared to do a lot of walking. It's a big cemetery. It's 100 acres. You can do several miles looking around for the graves. And it is a bit of a scavenger hunt, finding the graves. Some of them are very obvious, and it might be a lot of veterans buried in a particular area. But some of them are not buried in a veterans specific area. They're just buried in the general cemetery area. So you have to look around for them and find them. And it is a kind of a thrill when you do find them and you place that flag for them, and you know that that's going to mean something to somebody when they see that.
Must also be a fascinating way to explore the cemetery and also maybe learn about some of these people who served our country. Do you find that maybe people are kind of jotting down names to maybe do more research about who is this person that I just placed a flag on?
Yeah, Evergreen is a big kind of depository of history for our city. The Friends of Evergreen is a volunteer group. They lead tours through the cemetery, and it's just incredible. The kind of people who are buried there, who have served, like I said, in every American war from the Civil War onwards. So you'll be out there and you'll find soldiers who were died in service in Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan. It's sobering, but it's also powerful to be there. And then just the history of the cemetery in general is amazing. A lot of notable Maine people. One of my favorite places in the cemetery is the burial for the memorial for Mayor James Baxter, who there's a lot of things in Portland named Baxter Boulevard, Baxter Academy, Baxter Woods, and during his time he created our park system as we know it today. That was kind of his legacy. Parks and cemeteries were a passion of his, and animals and wildlife. So there's a beautiful memorial for his family there and him. But you know, another great spot in the cemetery is the Chisholm Tomb, which is Chisholm was one of the timber barons in the 1800s. Made a fortune, and the tomb that's there really shows you that. It's got imported Italian marble tomb and granite that got brought here by a mule team from Barry, Vermont, and really incredible story behind some of these things that you walk by them and you take them for granted, but when you start looking into it, it's very interesting.
Let's talk about what's going on for the weekend and Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Again, always a big weekend there. It's cemeteries all over the state, but let's talk about what's going on down Stevens Avenue in Evergreen and Portland.
Yeah, the Deering Neighborhood Association, Deering Center Neighborhood Association hosts a great neighborhood Memorial Day celebration. I believe it's on Memorial Day itself, on that Monday. And it starts at 2. And starts in Deering Center and goes down Stevens Avenue, ending at the cemetery. And they have events and other things planned along with that. But people can get more information going to Deering Center Neighborhood Association.
Do you feel like each volunteer just has a sort of a different reason why they're there? Like maybe they have a family member there, or it's just someone who really wants to honor these people who served our country? Does it get emotional? What is that like?
It does. You see when we have volunteer events, even there when it's just been city staff, some people like to go in a group and they're talking and having a great time, and you do see other people who go off by themselves, and it's more of a solemn experience for them. Probably they have a loved one who died in battle, or they're thinking of 9/11 or another event like that, and this is their way of honoring those people.
I think it's just mind-boggling. I was walking through the Westbrook Cemetery the other day just to get some exercise before I picked up kids, and to see the amount of flags whipping in the wind is really sobering. How many people gave their lives for this country?
It is sobering. Yeah, it's this visual representation. You don't see it every day, but it's very powerful. So I'd encourage people, even if you're not coming for the event, this weekend, take a walk through the cemetery, and it really tells a story when you look out and you see these flags dotted throughout the cemetery of people who, gave the ultimate sacrifice fighting for something they believed in. So.
And just remind everybody again where they can go if they want to find out more details about the event and if they want to volunteer.
Yeah, so the parade itself, the Memorial Day, that's Deering Center Neighborhood Association. The city website, portlandmaine.gov. And Portland, Maine is all spelled out. Just make your way to the Parks, Rec, and Facilities page, and there's information on there for the flag placing.
Yeah, and after volunteering at least for a couple of years, it is very rewarding, to go out and pay homage to all the people that gave their lives for this country.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you for doing that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time this morning.